Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. Thank you for being with us today. We are obviously in full swing in the preparations for the Malta Business Awards for 2024. This is the third year during which the awards will be running. And we started this year an initiative of holding this webinar so that anyone interested to know more about the awards, preparing to apply for an award, would have more information and would be able to even ask questions directly and hear some experiences to be able to prepare better for the awards. So at the beginning, I will be giving just some general information about the awards. Following this part, we will have a panel discussion, a short panel discussion amongst the organizers of the awards, which are the Chamber of SMEs and Malta Enterprise, and also some winners from past editions that will be sharing with us their experiences. Following which, we will be going further into the details related to the mechanics of how these awards work, because it's important that you understand very well the process so as to be able to adapt and be able to make the most out of your submission. Starting off, I wanted to mention a bit about the reason behind these awards. So these awards the awards is a very nice activity. It's an activity that takes a lot of time. It's a very delicate and elaborate process, but there is a very big reason, a very important purpose why we organize these awards. Obviously, it's a very important recognition platform. So before, Malta did not have a platform that recognizes, that showcases business initiatives, good business initiatives. And this is basically what the award is. But apart from that, there is a bigger purpose to it. There is a bigger reason why we organize these awards. Probably being in business, you realize that many times when business is mentioned in the news, when business is in headlines, unfortunately, it is negative news because negative news makes the most sound and makes the most headlines. And we wanted to start to counterbalance that with good initiatives that we can be proud of, that local businesses are creating, local businesses are doing. Many of these initiatives we wouldn't be aware of because obviously we would know the business even ourselves, that we are constantly in touch with our members and businesses. We would know what the business is doing in the general day-to-day running of the business. We would not know what other activities and initiatives the businesses are doing to take better care of their employees, to take better care of their clients, to contribute to the communities. And these are just a few examples for which we have awards that businesses can apply for. So basically, we are doing these awards to counterbalance and create a good name and showcase the good examples that we have of local businesses, which are doing initiatives that we can really be proud of. Apart from the recognition, because some businesses tell us that, listen, I am doing this, but I'm not doing it for recognition. I'm doing it because I believe it's something good that my business needs to do. But there is a bigger impact that the business can have apart from what it is doing and the good that it is generating. By sharing the experience and sharing the know-how of what has been done, the initiatives, whether it is doing business well, whether it is creating a special initiative that will have a positive impact on Malta, that will lower CO2 emissions, that is a business that has passed successfully from one generation to the next. By sharing this experience and sharing knowledge, you can inspire others to do the same. So as human beings, the best way that we can learn of how to do something and get inspired of being better, of improving, is by learning from other examples. And obviously, businesses have a lot to learn from one another, and this is another reason why we are doing these awards and creating this showcase. In fact, what we do is with the finalists, those that are selected as finalists, and we will be going through the process of how to reach that finalist position and what goes in the process. We create short videos, short clips related to why they are being considered for an award. We believe it's important to share this information for others to understand why this business is winning an award, is possibly winning an award, what was special about the initiative, because that is how we learn from one another. Apart from that, finally, another reason why we are doing these awards is to provide an incentive, a sign out there of what kind of good initiatives we would like businesses to generate. So we believe there are a lot of good businesses, good local businesses, but many businesses can do a little bit more when it comes to giving back to the community, when it comes to sharing their experiences of how they are improving the business and also benefiting Malta at the end of the day, benefiting the employees, but benefiting clients. And with these awards, we are giving a sign, we are giving an idea of what are the areas that businesses can work more on. What are the good quality initiatives that it is good for businesses to take on? When we will go through the examples, because some things might sound a little bit too bombastic, but when we are going through the examples, and even I have listed the number of examples to give us ideas on what past initiatives have won awards in business, you will realize that it's not something out of this world. We are not looking for rocket science. We are looking for genuine initiatives that businesses of different sizes, whether you are a micro, small business, and can only contribute a little, or a bigger business that can contribute much more because you have more resources to dedicate. Each of these initiatives are welcome and they are possibly considered for winning the award. So it doesn't make a difference the size of the business, it doesn't make a difference how much resources you can allocate to an initiative. We see the effort of the business and how much they are trying and doing from the capabilities that they have. Okay, so I would like to share a bit the screen before we can go to the panel discussion, just to start getting into the mechanics and the logistics behind the awards. So your go-to place is obviously the website. We have a completely online system. It is www.maltabusinessawards.mt. So here at the very top, you have the application, the way you can apply, but we will go further into those details. What is relevant at this point to start off with are the dates, the relevant dates. These are some photos from previous editions. And here we will find, just a second, the dates. So the applications opened on the 26th of June. They are currently open, and we have round about 2 weeks to go till the 7th of August for applications to close. Applications close at midnight on the 7th of August, and that will mark the first part of the Business Awards preparations. Following that, the applications will be reviewed and we will have a short list of the applicants that made it through the first round by the 10th of September. So by the 10th of September, you will know whether you made it to the next round or whether your application did not go through. Obviously, there are only 5 spaces with the shortlisted applicants. And we will explain a little bit further on what one can do to be part of these shortlisted applicants, how much one needs to invest in the application, what weight does it have, and everything else. And following the shortlisted applicants, we will announce the finalists on the 10th of October. So on the 10th of September, you will be notified privately whether you made it to the shortlisted applicants. So nobody will know whether you applied, how did it go, and everything. The only moment things will be made public is on the 10th of October, a month after, when the finalists are announced. If you made it to the final, yes, that will be in the public, that will be officially on the website. because you would be in winning one of the awards, whether it is gold, whether it is silver, whether it is bronze, you will be winning an award at that point. You will not know at that point which award, whether you are first, second, or third place, you will not know at that point, but you will know that you are a finalist and it will be in the public visible on the website. Then obviously the culmination of all this is the 15th of November, which is the awards night. Okay, so we will have an opportunity to go further into detail in the process in the website, but before we do that, I will invite my colleague Fabian, there he is, so that with the other colleagues, he can share some experiences from previous editions and also with the participation of Anthony David Gott from Malta Enterprise. I leave it in your hands.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Abigail, and welcome Davide from Colors of Malta, a winner from the first edition of the Malta Business Awards and the leader in quality tourism, and Anthony David Gott from Malta Enterprise. Basically, we're doing the third edition of the Malta Business Awards, as Abigail mentioned, together with Malta Enterprise once again. And of course, the aim is to highlight initiatives such as those mentioned during the awards. Also, welcome Dorothy Baldacchino from Baldacchino Group and Kempinski. Kempinski were the winners of the Gozo Business Awards last year, and also finalists during the first edition of the Malta Business Awards. I'd like to start off by introducing Anthony David Gott for a short comment, Anthony, about the purpose of these awards and why you encourage those who are present here today and perhaps others that will be following this webinar at a later stage, why they should apply for these awards. Unmute, Anthony, sorry. Sorry for that.
Thank you to yourself and to Abigail for the introduction. It's been indeed a pleasure and an honor to be able to conduct these awards together with the SME Chamber, and it's been works in progress that is always improving, I would like to say. The idea behind the awards is to provide examples of good practice from different fields of business and with different focuses, in order to give real-life examples of companies that one can look up to in their business life, and as they also transition from one generation to the next, when changes can be done, in order to have a yardstick and an example of good kind of output in a myriad of activities. What I think that cuts these awards above the rest, and I would say it in a very clear way, but something that I really truly believe is that the way that the judging takes place reflects the hard work done by the companies during the year and during the years. So we focus solely on looking at the quality, looking at how these companies compare to different nominees, and doing it in a very serious and rigorous way in a number of levels of analysis. Some of them are done as desk analysis, but also there's also the interview part that we conduct in a very thorough way, always looking at having a good representation also amongst the judges themselves. And I think it is one of the main testaments to the quality and what makes these awards worth considering, because we do understand that in order to put in a proper application, a company needs to invest time. And that's exactly what we want and what these awards deserve. A good submission, because the submissions will go through a rigorous process that is commensurate to the hard work that the companies deliver during the year. something that I want to also, subscribe and highlight is that it's a great night out. It's truly a good time spent. Fabian, the team at the chamber do their best in order to always fine tune year on year. And as you would expect, you will be brushing shoulders and spending time with the best in industry. And I'm not saying this to exaggerate, but yes, there's a quality and there's an opportunity for even newcomers to be able to meet some of the most accomplished entrepreneurs in Malta, all under one roof. You tell me, yes, there are other opportunities. Believe me, when you're there, you see that this is one of the good opportunities. And finally, even this year, I know that the organizational team is working in order to even augment the opportunity to be able to chat also throughout the not at the awards moment, but even after. So in order to give it a more 360-degree opportunity of celebrating the quality, getting to know the right people as well in order to network and to create business links in the future as well, and to have a good opportunity of a night out of quality and of celebration of the quality of our enterprises at least once a year.
Thank you very much, Anthony, for your comments. Basically, also to add up with Anthony's comments, of course, the Malta Business Awards. Nowadays, there's a huge number of applications. Last year, we've had over 400 applications. So, of course, that's why also we're doing this webinar today, because the application stage, the application is really important. Therefore, some effort is of course needed, and we'll give you over some tips throughout this session. However, that's why we've also invited our past winners, Davide from Colors of Malta and Dorothy. Davide participated during the first year, and they've managed to win the award on the first year. And also we have Dorothy from Campus Kid. They've participated for the first two editions, and last year they've won the Go-To Business Award. However, I start off with David about some tips from which you've done during your application at application stage. And also something we would want to highlight is that in the first year, at application stage, the total amount of points amounted to 70% at the first stage and 30% the in-person meeting. However, the third edition is 50-50. So the total amount of points. However, to make it to the shortlisted applicants, of course, you need a very good application. So some tips from your end, David, and also your thoughts about the first edition of the Malta Business Awards, and of course, your perspective about the awards following the second year. Of course, you were not present, but of course, you followed as a past winner.
Yes, thank you, Abigail. Thank you, Fabian and Anthony. It was a great introduction. Yes, I'm representing Colors of Malta. Colors of Malta, we are a DMC, which is a destination management company, because a lot of people don't understand what we do. So I think what Abigail mentioned, which is very, very important, is to be genuine and to actually explain what we do, because as long as you put on the application the clear objectives of what you do and how you do it, I think that was one of the key elements, especially when I went for the interview. I found it, first of all, the setup was extremely professional. It was the first year, and of course, being in the tourism industry, we really suffered during the COVID period. So this was literally coming out of the COVID. It was the first year we were starting to work in 2022. So it was a fantastic comeback. And I found that when we put our application, we wanted to basically show what we're doing and how we're promoting the destination, because we are organizing events and for corporate companies who are not Maltese. They are all foreign companies coming to Malta, and we also organize events maybe going out of Malta too. So it's important how we perceive our destination, how we can be sustainable in the work we do. And I think that it was what basically we are doing in Malta is a reflection of what the idea of how we'd like to promote tourism. So if you're genuine and you write down exactly what your objectives are and be very honest and open about it, as Abigail said, it's not rocket science. Of course, we had a 70% on the application and 30%. I think at the moment there's a bigger advantage because when you're with the panel and you're face to face, you can really explain how your business is run, how you'd like your business to be perceived, what you're doing for the country. And it is amazing. The actual night is fantastic because it's a great networking session. It's extremely well organized. And I think it's an opportunity to meet people who are like yourselves, and you're sharing problems, you're sharing the things that you've done together. So it's a great opportunity also in the evening. I think that's more or less sums it up.
Thank you very much, Davide. I'll pass on to Dorothy. As I mentioned, you've participated during the first year, and however, you've tried again for the second year for the Gozo Business Award. Davide's award was related to tourism, and this is also something I'm mentioning because, of course, the tips they're mentioning will apply to all awards, even if it's other awards in different categories, perhaps because, of course, our speakers are coincidentally related to tourism. However, of course, their tips apply to all awards. Dorothy, what was your experience from the first edition to the second edition of the Malta Business Awards?
So hello everyone. Thank you, Fabian, and the team for inviting us to speak about our experience. The first edition, I had entered in the application as a late stage. So it was my sister who actually applied. When we came to the interview at the time, because it was just after COVID or during COVID, I remember the interview process was done online. And I realized that we were not prepared. Basically, it is best that whoever is going for the interview is also the same person who is involved in the application process. Reason being is that you actually understand what the awards are all about, what the criteria are, and what it all entails. Abigail, thank you, Abigail, as well for inviting us. Abigail also mentioned this genuinity. I think that is spot on. You need to be yourself. This is not about trying to be copycat of anyone. It is your business after all. And I think on the second turn, learning from my experience in the interview of the first one, I realized that we need to spend more time in the application process. And the interview was completely totally different. We were prepared, we were present, we were there. The advantage in this case was also that it was in person. So I think our genuine love for what we do, I think, was also communicated a lot better. That was I wanted to mention both scenarios because the first time around, even though we were runner-up, I truly felt like we didn't do well. I genuinely felt a bit unprepared, a bit lost. So it is normal maybe for the first time round to be a little bit confused as to what the board and the judging panel are looking for. Having passed through it, I I encourage everyone to do it. It is not just, sometimes, you know, we're so carried away by our mundane day-to-day that for us, I mean, at least me personally, in the beginning when my sister told me, I was like, we want, you know, just another award. I have more important things to do. But in the end, when we went through the first year process, it's like, no, you know what, we can, you know, your place is also there and you need to be recognized, and it's good to have some recognition, and also to put your name there, not just, you know, and I think that night, even, you know, crossing over with some other people and like-minded entrepreneurs, we actually got some business going on, and it was two-way. So we gave business to some people we made in contact there, and vice versa. So it was also very, very healthy when it comes to networking, contacts, thinking a little bit outside the box, getting also ideas, because you would see even how other people present themselves. And as I said, in our industry, there are moments where, for example, general managers meet up and speak, you know, from Intercontinental to Phoenicia, they all meet up. But somehow the crossing over between different industries doesn't happen so much. And it's interesting how many things can be linked together. For example, a big contact that we made was Stephanie Borch in our case. And we started getting her products, which we are selling in our, not selling, gifting in our villas for birthdays and special occasions, for example. Eventually, we would like to talk to her about designing something as well for the reception, for the staff, uniforms. So again, we knew about her. We were, you know, cognizant of what she does, but somehow via the business awards, we really broke the ice and started working together. And that is, I'm just mentioning one. There were many others, and so I really encourage you for this venture.
Thank you very much, Dorothy. And it was also quite a good example, because of course, even you mentioned the first year and second year, and you mentioned the in-person. In fact, even from our end, of course, the first year it was we've offered also, since it was the Gozo Business Awards. So most of the businesses told us sort of, let's do it online. However, the second year we felt that we went to Gozo, and we've met there, because of course the in-person meeting makes a huge difference. Thank you all for your testimonies. However, now I'll invite also once again Abigail, and I'll give the floor to Abigail, so that we'll go through the different awards, because of course we encourage you, you may apply for one award or much more than one award, and for different initiatives that you might have done. There's the transport category, there's the green and sustainable category, of course, the distinct. So of course there's quite a variety. There's 22 different awards, and Abigail will go further into detail about those, and also about further tips on your applications. Thank you very much for being with us, Davide and Dorothy. Thanks so much, truly appreciate it. And of course, thank you, Anthony, for your support and Malta Enterprise support. Abigail,
thank you for it.
The floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you all. It was really nice to hear some of the comments, because these are things that we would be really working for and hoping that these hidden aims are achieved, which is really nice to hear. And I wanted to touch a bit more on why Colors of Malta and Kempinski won an award. So Colors of Malta, as Davide explained, is the DMC. It's a destination management company. But apart from being an exceptional DMC, Colors of Malta also prioritizes working with the local operators, highlighting the local culture in Malta, and also operating sustainably as much as we can, because obviously we know that tourism is good, tourism is important, it brings in a lot of money for Malta, but Colors of Malta decide to do it in a way that leaves a kinder impact on Malta in terms, obviously, on waste generated, CO2 emissions and things like that. Kempinski, obviously, a household name, not just in Gozo, but also in Malta, extremely renowned. And Kempinski always wanted to bring something to Gozo to express what Gozo is and elevate the Gozo product through the hotel and the services that they give. So apart from being an exceptional hotel, apart from being making sure that they reach the standards of a 5-star exceptional hotel, they also make sure that once again they express themselves and celebrate what Gozo is, who Gozo is, through the product the service that they offer, through who they are in their identity, and also make sure that they elevate Gozo in general, not just the hotel. So these are the kind of beautiful experiences and initiatives that win these kind of awards. As Anthony mentioned as well, it's really a great opportunity to network, because you are at the end of the day with like-minded businesses. We have a lot of applications, all of them very good quality initiatives, but the winners are really those high-flying businesses, and you would be amongst the really best in business when you are finalists for the awards. But I appreciated Dorothy sharing her experience first time round, because it's not necessary that you make it in the first time. Basically, it's always an opportunity to improve. So feel free to resubmit your application, learn, because many tell us that it is a learning experience. It is an eye-opener, that the experience is very enriching. So it's not just about getting a no in terms of being a finalist. We pass on some valid feedback for each application, so that everyone makes it a learning opportunity to try and improve, to try better next time, to invest a bit more time. So yes, you can resubmit your applications, you can improve on it, and you can submit also more than one application, because some awards have a level of overlap. So maybe something that you are doing, which is good for the environment, has also a very interesting digital slant to it. So you can apply both under the green initiatives and under the digital and sustainable initiatives. And you can apply also with different initiatives, okay? So maybe someone is doing something good by being a very good employer with their employees, but they are also changing the fleet of the cars that they use to make them more environmentally friendly. So there you can apply under both initiatives. So something that was mentioned is that the weighting between the different phases. So as Davide said, it was a bit tougher, I think, for the first 2 rounds, and we are always fine-tuning. We believe it is fairer to make a 50-50 balance. 50% is the weighting for the application which is written, and 50% is the waiting for the interview, when you get to meet the judges and get to know who the judges are for the first time, and explain directly why you are applying for the award, what is this all about, what is your initiative, what is your purpose of carrying out the initiative. But it is very important that the first 50% are your key to the next phase, the next 50%. And it's very important that you really devote time and concentrate. We make it very easy. It's 3 simple questions most of the time. We will see how to find these questions, and they are adapted for each award. But it is important that you devote time to really explain, because who is reading the application does not know the business as well as you do. So that genuine aspect, the purpose of why you are carrying out these initiatives, needs to come through in the application. Then you will solidify that and make it in 3D for who would have been reading, but through the interview. But before, they really need to get a very good understanding of what you are doing, what was the impact, why have you done it, how have you built your business in a way to be in a position to be able to carry out that activity. So please do invest time. We have a limit, a word limit, so it's not something that you will write endlessly, an assignment or a dissertation. It's not that, but use your word count and invest time in order to be able to transmit the message that you want to come across to the readers, which are in this case the judges. So basically, I want to touch a bit upon what is in it for the winners. And sometimes, again, as I said before, not everyone might be interested to get recognition, because at the end of the day, some businesses don't do things for recognition. I have explained why recognition is important, because you would have something to document what you have done, and others can be inspired from that. But sometimes it's even more important for the team, because at the end of the day, the business is made of its people, of the employees that work in the business. And when the business has a purpose, the employees have a purpose to drive the business in a direction, to drive it to do better, to drive it to genuinely work on the purpose that it has set out for itself. So maybe for the business, it might not look as something very important, but many times some of the feedback that we get is that the team would really appreciate the recognition and being told that, yes, they are doing something good. They are doing something that is worth recognizing and worth sharing with others. So that is an important aspect to also consider. Obviously, you would get a beautiful award when you win one of the awards, which is either gold, silver, or bronze. And I am really proud every time I walk into a business establishment, and sometimes I wouldn't even realize, and I find the award sitting in the reception very proudly, showcasing that the business was recognized during the Malta Business Awards. The Malta Business Awards, they are a very high quality event. As explained before, the selection process is extremely serious, extremely rigorous. And these awards really mean something. When you win an award, you really win something prestigious, because you have gone through a very rigorous selection process. And you have been selected because your initiative, your business, the things you are doing are really worth being recognized, and for us to be able to share with others. As I said, you inspire others, so you will have an even bigger impact with what you are doing. And there's nothing wrong to use it even for marketing purposes. I am saying this, for instance, we know how the labor market is working at the moment, how tough it is to find people, how tough it is to find good people. And basically, when you win Employer of the Year award, it is something very prestigious. It is something to boast about, because at the end of the day, you will be attracting the right kind of employees with the right mindset. They say, listen, yes, I want to work with a good employer. I want to work with an employer that has the same priorities, that offers very good working conditions and appreciates my contribution. So now I am going to once again share the screen to be able to go a bit through the awards. Yes. Okay, so we have 4 categories. Each of the categories can be accessed through applications open, so that if you want to start preparing and understand what questions you will be asked to answer, you can do is via a document and then paste it and then submit, so that you make sure that your work is not lost. And you also have an opportunity to attach further information, documents, videos, and things like that. So you choose which category this falls under. For instance, if we're going for distinct initiatives, there are a number of awards: Leader in Inclusivity, Social Impact Award, Exceptional Wellbeing at the Workplace. Let's go, for instance, at Exceptional Wellbeing at the Workplace. First, there are the standard details, the company name. Then, as I said, it's up to 250 words, briefly explaining who you are and what your relationship is with the business. and another maximum of 500 words to illustrate how your business is fostering well-being at the workplace and how this journey of well-being came about. And how you are also moving into implementation. And then finally, another maximum of 500 words to demonstrate how this initiative is helping the employees. Obviously, we are after tangible impact, so we believe that good initiatives generate some form of impact. As I said, the level of impact is not necessarily the same from one business and the other, because we do consider the resources one is able to put in. That is all taken into consideration and being appreciated, but some level of impact is important to showcase, to present. Same goes for innovative and sustainable ambassadors, where we have the green awards here, which are extremely important. We are seeing a lot of businesses that are doing things in a greener way, and you can find the awards that match your initiative best. Here we also have the digital aspect, the sustainability aspect, and also quality tourism. Celebrating business, which is more generic, which is GoZo Business of the Year, Small Business of the Year, SME of the Year. Here you will find that this year we have created something new. We have split the Small Business of the Year and the SME of the Year, because from feedback that we received over the last 2 editions, we felt that it is more encouraging for businesses to apply when small businesses, which we have capped for this year at 25 employees or less, are given the opportunity to apply for a separate award, as opposed to those which are a little bit larger, 26 employees and up. Young Entrepreneur of the Year, Female Entrepreneur of the Year, and Family Business of the Year. So here we are looking for standard, good quality businesses, but these would be businesses that are still going that extra mile to do business in the best way they can. So taking care of the business in 360 degrees, not only making sure that they are very successful in business, they have a very good reputation, but also take care of the communities, carry out certain initiatives, and I will be going into a few details there as well. And this year we have the National Transport Awards. Last year we had only one award following under transport. This year we have 3, and basically here is where we would like to see more initiatives taken by businesses. We know we have a big traffic and transportation problem in Malta, and we want to see more. We are putting out these awards as a sign that as Malta, we need to see more initiatives taken by businesses when it comes to transportation. Transport which is green, transport which is smart, 2 separate awards, and also logistics. Obviously, some of the traffic is generated from the logistics sector, from deliveries and things like that. So we are specifically dedicating an award to that as well. Interestingly, one might want to look a bit, and I will be explaining a bit here as well, at the past winners. So last year's winners, just to get a bit of a feel and an understanding, and something which I think is really nice and special is that you will see a mix of who the winners are: very small businesses, larger businesses, different sectors, different backgrounds, and it's nice to see this variety. And like this, you can have, if you go on the social media pages of the Malta Business Awards, you will also see those clips that I mentioned, showing why that business was chosen to win an award, to get a little bit of more of an understanding, but I will be going through a few of these. So first of all, I wanted to mention, for instance, just as an example, Leader in Mental Health Wellness. Last year, Leader in Mental Health Wellness was won, the Gold Award was won by Willingness. Willingness basically was the first national helpline during COVID times. And they also take care of mental health in an innovative way. For instance, Willingness organize tents at festivals, at music festivals, so that they make sure they are accessible where youths are. They are where they might be needed in terms of accessibility and where they can reach people. Growth Gurus came second with the Silver Award. Growth Gurus basically want to make sure that the work is a beautiful part of the employee's life. They offer 4-day weeks as well because they are able to, and they have mental wellness coaches available for their employees if they need it. Mechanica came third with the Bronze Award. They have their HR trained as first crisis intervention, okay, so crisis in relation to mental health. And they also hold focus groups with employees in relation to any issues they might have and mental health issues as well, just to give you a little bit of flavor. The Inclusivity Award. Here, when it comes to inclusivity, we are focusing specifically on disabilities, both physical and mental disabilities. The winner here with the Gold Award was MZ Academy. MZ is a very small business, and they are basically a hairdressing business, and they dedicate some hours each month for kids on the autism spectrum, to give services to kids on the autism spectrum. So basically they prepare their salon in order to be welcoming for these kids, in order to have enough time. They dedicate, for instance, a whole hour for each client in order to have enough time to go through the process of the service they are delivering. And interestingly, all 3 winners during last year's edition for the Inclusivity Award focused on autism, but on different angles. As I said, MZ with the hairdressing service, Eating Leisure, which is the cinema, offers special screening for persons with autism. And Premier Restaurant was the first restaurant to be classified as autism friendly. And these were the 3 awards related to the Inclusivity Award. Okay, maybe I will give a bit of information on the Green Awards, just to give a bit of an understanding. For instance, we have the Project Green Award. And the Gold Award, the first position, was won by Ecostech Innovations. And basically, Ecostech focus on the environment and nature-based innovations. And they did a transformation in a public space to give it back to the people, to give use for the public, and something related to nature, something which is nature-centric. Garland, which won the Silver Award, Garland realized that they had many clients and that changed basically their outdoors, and basically certain trees, for instance, did not fit the design that they wanted or the use of the space that they wanted. And instead of discarding these trees, they decided to find a way to retain them, to replant them and save these trees. And during last year, Garland Malta uprooted and relocated 140 trees. So it saved 140 mature trees. Doric Studios did a very, very nice project whereby they made use of a parking in between a residential area. And basically, they created a roof garden over this parking in this residential area, once again giving purpose for the community, giving open space for the community that they can use. Okay, maybe a couple of words related to transport. So here we had a number of winners once again. Melita changing their fleet to electrified vehicles. We have Bolt that have saved a lot in terms of CO2 emissions via the choice of certain vehicles that is made available, either hybrid or electric or EVs. And also green roads, which are using data on the use of the roads, both by cars, pedestrians, cyclists, to be able to take decisions, to be able to use then eventually this information to take decisions which has a better impact on people's lives. Okay. So, to proceed, so as we said, for categories, within each category, you will find an explanation of what the award is after, some examples of what could be initiatives falling under these awards. So this is very important for you to read. And then you can apply from here as well. So it's not just at the top, but you can apply from here as well. You have also an understanding of who is supporting the award. So Best Waste Management Strategy is an award that is being supported by WasteServe. Project Green is an award that is being supported by Project Green. Innovative Digital Solution is an award being supported by the MDIA, the Malta Digital Innovation Authority. So these are supporters that at the end of the day want to encourage initiatives falling under these categories of awards. That is why they are supporting these awards. So as I said, for categories, each of these categories, you will find a list of awards and an explanation under each. So if we go further down, you can access it from here as well. These are the different dates that I explained earlier. And these are the phases. Phase 1, which is the 50%, which is the written part, which there is the word count for, but you can attach additional documents, but make sure that you invest some time to do the application well, because these 50% at the end of the day will count a lot at the end. 5 shortlisted applicants. Then there is this is where the shortlisted applicants will meet the judges. In the phase 2, which is another 50%, and then the 3 finalists will be announced in public. And then there is the beautiful, very, very, very nice award night where you will be with like-minded businesses, and there's a lot to network and to collaborate. And this year we will be really, really focusing on the networking element, which I think will be received really well. Okay, so these are the partners and the collaborators for this year. So finally, I just want to take you back up. This is where you can contact us. So if you have any further info, any further questions, we receive questions daily, and this is why I focused on a number of awards, because we received a number of queries related to these awards. But please put forward your questions, anything you want to ask, anything you want some feedback on, we will be happy to help. And this is how you submit it. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. Yes, so, okay. Okay, very good. So I want to see if there are any questions, anything crossing your mind that you want to share with us. This year is going to be a bit of a different experience in terms of the award night, and every year we try to improve. And this year we will be using 2 separate areas for the networking part and the more celebratory part, and a separate area for the actual award giving that we will be doing in a theater and having these beautiful videos and clips about each initiative, which you will find on our social media pages for everyone to see. So it's a very prestigious event. It means a lot. There's a lot behind this event in terms of purpose, and we appreciate everyone who submits an application, who decides to join us in this journey. We assure you that it is not a waste of time. There is a learning experience for everything. and each application is very much appreciated and considered very, very seriously. Okay, so I think I have mentioned everything that I wanted to mention. Possibly I will remember of something after we close this session, because that is what always happens. But since there are no questions, we can close this webinar today. Thank you very much for being with us. We will be sharing this webinar via email, so sending it following today's session so that you can refer back to it. But we have 2 questions. Very important question, which I would have remembered that I did not mention. There is no cost for the applications, okay? So applying, whether it is 1 or whether it is 5 applications, it is completely free of charge. So how many people are able to attend the interviews? Normally, we don't put a limit. So we have, many times we have a big room. And if we should have restrictions on the number of people attending, we will let you know. But many times, 1, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, we had in the past, and it should not be a problem. So we have a nice comment by Maria Zara. Thank you so much for helping our business being recognized, even though a small one. And it was a pleasure for us, and it is one of the proud examples we like mentioning, Maria, because you really saw what your business can contribute and what it can give back, and we appreciate that you are doing your utmost in that respect. Okay. Thank you very much for the kind words, Mark. And we will surely keep in touch. Okay, very good. So thank you, wishing you the rest of the afternoon, and you have till the 7th of August. Don't leave it till the very end. You have till the 7th of August to apply. During this time, you are here to help, happy to help with anyone with what you might need. Thank you, and bye for now.